Good morning, everyone. My name is Navin Mahato, first and training teacher at Sponsor Teachers Training College. And today I'll be presenting the topic Educational Significance of Attention and Teachers' Role to Keep Attention Among the Learners. This is a very important topic in education because attention is the first step in learning process. Without attention, learning cannot happen effectively. So, before going further with this topic, let's now understand and basic idea of attention. Attention is a psychological process which allows learner to concentrate on an object, idea, or task at a time. So attention has its importance in education. Now we'll discuss educational significance of attention. As attention is very important in learning process, as it is like the door that allows information to enter the brain. And if the door is closed, means the student is not listening, and then and student will, no matter how good the lesson or the teacher is, the students will not learn properly. So let's now learn it in more details with some examples. For example, attention helps student understand what is being taught. When a student is paying attention, he can clearly listen to the teacher explanation and understand the topic better. For example, if the teacher is explaining the concept of fraction, and if the student is focused, then he will understand what numerator and denominator means. But if the student is not listening, maybe looking out of the window or talking to a friend, then he will not, and then he may miss the explanation and will not understand and the topic. Second is attention helps with memory and recall. When we pay attention to something, it gets stored in our memory strongly, and it helps us remember it for later when we need it. For example, uh, and in history class, if the teacher is explaining the cause of First World War and the student is attentive, then he will remember the key points, and later during the exam he can recall the information and write the answer. Uh, Next is attention improves active participation. Attentive students are more likely to take part in class. For example, in science class, if the teacher is doing a simple experiment, attentive student will watch carefully and ask why and how the reaction happened. This will make the class interesting and make the students more attentive, and also makes the learning fun. Again, next is attention support academic success. In long term, students who regularly pay attention during class often perform better in their academics. For example, if the teacher is explaining English grammar lesson, and the student pay attention and understands the rule, then he will apply them while writing the answer. This will help him score better in his academics. So now we'll discuss teacher's role to keep the attention among the learners. Teachers plays a very important role in helping students to pay attention in class. Teachers can use simple and smart method to keep the student attentive and interested while teaching. First is makes the lesson interesting and suitable for the age group. Teachers should plan the lesson and that match the students' level of understanding. For example, while they're teaching the topic of magnetism, student can and teacher can use a real magnet and so how it attracts iron nail. This will help. This will grab the attention of students better than just talking. Again, use multimedia and teaching it, and showing videos, pictures, chart, slides, its models makes the learning fun and easier to understand. For example, I'll, mm, while teaching the topic of solar energy, if the teacher uses a video or animation sample of how a solar panel works, then this will help the student stay more attentive. Again, body language and eye contact. Teachers should use body language, smile, move around, use hand gesture, and eye contact. This will help. Will make the student. This will keep the student alert and um, help the class make more lively. Ask question. The teacher should ask a small and easier question in between the lesson to see that if the students are listening or not. For example, while teaching the topic of state of matter, teacher can ask, "Can anyone give me an example of a gas that you use in our daily life?" This type of questions. I can start the lesson with a hook. A hook is something that is interesting at the beginning of class, like a story, a question, or a interesting fact. For example, if the teacher is explaining, and for example, at the start of class, teacher can ask, "Have you ever wondered why we sleep on more on wet floor?" This type of intriguing questions. Again, next is call students by name and involve them. So calling students by name and asking them to answer or give example makes the student feel important and noticed. Uh, this will uh, um, this will help them get more involved in class. Again, use voice modulation and use speed, sounds, volume variations is very important in making the class interesting. Next is, in conclusion, can say that attention is the key to learning process. If the student do not pay attention, they cannot understand or remember or apply what they have learned. This is why attention is very important in education process. Teachers can play a big role in keeping student focus by using fun activities, questioning, using in teaching aid, and making the classroom interesting. Teacher can help students stay involved. So both attention and teacher's role in guiding it are important in every classroom. Thank you for listening.